Under usual drafting conditions, when you're working with gCADPlus, our recommendation is to use entity snaps or osnaps. Here's the osnap toolbar. Use them as one-off. So if I was to draw a line from, say, some arbitrary point near the entrance, and I wanted to find the tangent of that circle, or tangential to that circle, I could pick the one-off tangential option, and you can see I'm able to latch my line in a similar way, a line from here to the midpoint. So can you see I'm using my entity snaps or osnaps as one-time entities. Let's erase those. But there are times when you are drafting and you want to run the same entity snap or osnap all the time. An example is this polyline that describes an area which is hatched in a rather ugly fashion at the moment with some lines at 45 degrees. Can you see that if I want to draw a shape such as that with a polyline, I'm going from endpoint to intersection and so on. And it will make my drafting job so much easier if on the right hand side over here, and I want to do the same thing, if I can have what's called a running osnap. So let's go into the settings for osnap and double click here, or single click it is, and I'll turn on endpoint and intersection and OK that. Notice now the toolbar changes. You've got a highlight around those two snaps that are running. We do see occasionally drawings that come from gCADPlus users where people put lots of running osnaps on. What that means is that the software has a difficulty. It's searching all the time for those control points and sometimes latches onto the wrong point. So certainly when you are beginning, just use single snaps. Now this tree symbol here is on a layer called L symbol, so let's turn it off and demonstrate how this osnap setting might work. So I'll say L symbol is now off, and what we're now going to do is try and hatch that area in the same way that we've hatched over there. So we'll make sure we're on layer 0, and we're going to use a polyline. Let's give it a colour so that you can see it. Leave it magenta, and we'll draw a polyline. Now because those osnaps are running, we should be able to latch on to control points. Let's start over here. Clearly that's an endpoint. Now we come to another endpoint, but notice the intersection option is available to us. So we're very easily, here's an intersection, we're very easily able to trace around this area. We can even stay well zoomed out. You do have to be a bit careful. See how there it jumped to an endpoint there, and that one's got it. So you need to be a little careful, and it might pay in this instance to have polar on so that you can be certain that things are either horizontal or vertical. So can you see that osnaps running in that way enable you to draft quickly and efficiently. Enter. So I'm in the habit of coming back in here when I'm finished drawing it to just clear all my osnaps and OK. That doesn't stop me simply saying repeat. I'm right clicking to pop up the right click menu, repeat the polyline, start at the end point here. I can then simply go to an intersection there and to an endpoint. I can still use all of my tools, it's just that we've turned off a running osnap. So I hope that demonstrates the value of running entity snaps versus the one-time entity snaps. Now the more observant of you would of course say, why draw that shape again on that side? It would be much better to simply mirror that hatching from one side to the other. You do always be aware that where you have a design which is symmetrical, as this one is here, you can draw a quarter or a half of the design and then just mirror it across. So I hope that covers single osnaps versus running osnaps.